Welcome to the Navigating the Noise podcast. First-hand stories and winning ideas from marketing department leaders. And now, here's your host, Sharyn O'Mara.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us on the Navigating the Noise podcast, brought to you by Connected Culture, a digital marketing agency obsessed with conversions. I'm your host, Sharyn O'Mara, and this is the first and only podcast to put the spotlight on the unsung heroes of the marketing world as we navigate the noise of modern marketing. Today's episode is about legal marketing, and I'm thrilled to have Sharyn O'Mara join us. Sharyn, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jerry. Sharyn O'Mara, Communications Director at a Matrimonial and Family Law Firm in Great Neck, Wisselman, Harunian and Associates. I've been there for 14 years. 13 a day or so ago, it feels like. I've been there almost 14 years, and I appreciate very much you having me today. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Great. So let's talk about legal marketing. Tell us about the key differences that you see between legal marketing and other types of marketing.
So for me, my background before Wisselman, Harunian and Associates was all non-legal marketing. I worked at packaged good companies on the agency side and the corporate side on big brands like Weight Watchers, McDonald's, Purdue Pharma, entertainment properties, comic strip properties. So when I came to legal marketing, I brought all the marketing tools that I already had, but I learned a few things I didn't know. And the big differences for me that I saw were legal marketing is very geographically based. If you get connected to somebody and they just live too far, they're not really likely to be a client. So that's a big difference. And the other big difference is that you can see the results of your efforts in an incredibly meaningful way with legal marketing, where with national packaged goods, there's so much happening at the same time. You know, there's price changes and there's advertising and there's public relations, sweepstakes, contests, account-specific marketing, all kinds of things going on at once. And you're doing your small part. But how do you really know the results of your effort? Legal marketing is so different. If you prepare an event and an attorney goes and presents at an event to other attorneys, one of those attorneys might call the next day and ask that our attorney that presented a question or want to speak with them further about something. And that feels amazing. And you get that direct result feedback. And that's another huge difference.
So you are based in where?
We're based in Great Neck, which is the first town into Nassau County after you leave Queens. So we're centrally located for folks that are in Nassau and Queens. And really, primarily, we cover the metro New York area. We do have clients that are, from the boroughs or from Suffolk, but primarily our clients are mostly within the Nassau, Queens area.
So tell us how COVID has changed your communications.
As far as our communications, it's changed in a few ways. I think like most people, we've moved some more of our communications to being focused on social media, focused on the internet. I think people are spending more time online now. And a little bit of a deeper connection with the internet and with social media, a little more updating with our website. We actually started a digital newsletter to stay more connected with people through email marketing. And then, of course, from the attorneys and the client's perspective, the communications have changed in that we offer now, instead of, please come in so that you can really get to know the attorney and see them in the environment and see the firm behind the attorney. Now, everything is on the phone or by Zoom or they can come in, if that's what they're comfortable doing. But those are, options we didn't really offer before. We didn't really have before.
So knowing what you know now, would you have done anything differently before?
I wish that we had offered virtual options before. I wish that we had been able to offer these groups to people outside of our area. I wish that we had incorporated some of it so that we would have been able to offer both options earlier than we did.
So what do you see as the top 3 critical issues that legal marketing must address today?
3, let's see. So the first one I would say is the marketing person's need to get as much out of the efforts that the attorneys are making. So if an attorney is preparing a presentation and makes a presentation, the issue for the marketing person is to get as much value out of that effort. Use it in social media, before the presentation, during the presentation, make a video, posting post event, creating social media posts after the event, staying in touch with the people that attended the presentation, adding them to the email list that we have, staying connected to those people, taking pictures, using, getting as the attorney's done the hard part, they've done the work. So it's the marketing person's job to really expand that out as much as possible. So that's definitely an ongoing, always critical issue. I would say the second one is to not focus only on the branding of the law firm, but also almost, and the attorneys, if they'll ever listen to this, would hate this term, but almost the branding of the attorneys, where you're not just introducing the firm to people, but you're really helping the attorneys to build their relationships and showcase their expertise as much as you can, help them with their bios and the website to help people feel a little bit more connected to them outside of a one-on-one actual meeting. And you want 3 critical issues. So I guess the third one I guess would be that marketing folks, whether they're legal marketing folks or any marketing folks, really just need to stay ahead of their game. They need to stay on top of their game and always be learning and growing. And marketing just changes so fast, and that's what we love about it. But it's also what makes us need to keep taking classes and going to presentations and networking ourselves and evolving, as fast as everything else keeps changing.
So it seems like you're saying that marketing the individual attorneys and what makes them special and unique is really what people, the consumer end of things, that's really what they want. More so than the overall brand, they're looking for somebody they connect with, somebody they trust.
Mm-hmm. And that's why a lot of times things like a speaking engagement, whether it's to the community, in a temple or a church, or whether it's a divorce support group, or whether it's a presentation to professionals like attorneys and accountants and like the mental health professionals that I mentioned, that's a chance for the attorney to share the information and provide the education. And it's also a chance for these professionals to really, and for the public or whoever's attending at the time, to get to know them a little bit and understand what they're about. Attorneys come about things in different ways. Our attorneys really try to settle cases. They're trial attorneys, and they can back up the goal to settle with the fact that they're expert trial attorneys, but their goal is always to help their clients settle, to help their clients move forward with their life, to get things to be okay so that they can co-parent with the other person and to not be as adversarial. And that's what they're about. And so when they do a presentation and they're educating and they're talking and they're sharing the law and they're sharing all this information, at the same time, they're showing that belief and they're showing what they're about. And those kinds of events really do help people to understand that it's the same thing with videos. It's what videos do online is what those kind of presentations do in a room, but it's not just about branding a firm and, what colors are you using for your imaging. It's really about the people behind the firm that matter.
I couldn't agree more about the personal aspects of things, but let's talk about the authority building. How do you build authority for attorneys?
So from a legal perspective, all of our attorneys all handle all aspects of matrimonial and family law. But from a marketing perspective, they don't all like the same things, and they're not all comfortable with the same things. So where one attorney might like to write a blog, another attorney might like to write an article for a legal journal, which is, as you know, a very different type of writing. some of our attorneys are very comfortable presenting to a room full of attorneys in a very formal, structured presentation setting where they come in with their speech prepared and go, do their presentation. Another attorney might like a more casual, sitting around in a circle with a few other people, and everybody's got questions, and they thrive on that Q&A and expanding on the answers. And some people like the social media, and some of the attorneys are like very a little more cautious about the posting on social media. So from a marketing perspective, it's knowing what they like and what they want to do and helping them to do more of what they really are comfortable doing. It's really helping to find the right match for them, not on the not at all on the legal side, but on the marketing side, making the right connection for them.
So let's talk about the future. Tell me about the biggest potential challenges that you see coming in the next few years for legal marketing.
I think the biggest challenge that we all keep needing to address, and I sort of touched on it before, is keeping on top of the industry and also finding ways to give back. I mean, I think that that's becoming more important. I think with COVID and all the things that we're a little bit more introspective about now, I think that what's coming is the importance of giving back. As you know, I was on the board of PRPLI. I'm on the board of Social Media Association now. I'm immediate past co-president. I'm current co-treasurer. And that's all volunteer. I teach class at Farmingdale, as you know, since you'll be my guest speaker. Yay! So that even though it's a job, it's really also for me a way of giving back.
So it seems like you're saying that what truly makes a law firm unique are the people, are the attorneys, everybody who works for the firm, and focusing, putting spotlights on the attorneys and showing that, yes, they're experts and they're authorities on this subject, but they're also real people, and, showing things that other people could potentially connect with sounds like the way to market a law firm.
People have a lot of questions, and they don't know where to take their questions. So we offer a free consultation to everybody, but sometimes even a free consultation can be intimidating. So sometimes we'll just get a social media inquiry, a quick line with a question, and our attorney, sometimes they'll leave a phone number, or they'll shoot us a quick email, or they'll reach out in a quick way, but they're not necessarily, we'll say, would you like to come in for consultation and everything? No, they're not ready. Just have a quick question. One of our attorneys, a lot of times, will just jump on the phone with them, things that the attorneys know that they can share readily that aren't very specific, but yet can really help somebody. Even once they find out that person will never be a client, they can still really help that person. If, that feels good too.
So since people have a lot of questions, and would you say that making the attorneys more approachable is a good strategy?
Yeah, I think it's important to make them more approachable. I think it's really important to find a way for them to connect. I'm amazed, but it happens. Somebody will post a quick question in a mom's group or a dad's group or any, social media place, and the attorneys will just answer a couple of quick questions, go off to a private chat, answer a couple of questions, and the next day, the person will call and they want to come in and they feel they want to meet with that attorney that they had their dialogue with. They don't want to meet with anybody else, and they've already formed that connection. Even though it's an online social media connection, it's a connection on this, just the same.
So you're trying to build authority, you're trying to make them friendly and approachable, you're trying to find things that people can connect with your attorneys. How do you measure success?
We measure success in a couple of different ways. There's the straightforward. We do a lot of analysis. We look at our website traffic and we look at our social media connections and comments, and we analyze how many people call the office and all of that. But at the end of the day, it's really interesting because it's divorce law. It's funny, you look at all the numbers and everything, but it doesn't always equate to a one-to-one match the way that you expect that it will, because people are people. So people start their inquiries and they're not sure yet that they're heading for divorce. They just want to gather up some information. But then fast forward a year later or 6 months later or 2 years later, if things didn't work out, then they do need a divorce lawyer. They're not necessarily starting from scratch. They may have kept that information in their pocket in case they did need it. So we try to figure out what's working best, and we're spending money in some places, or our attorneys are spending time in some places. So we want to keep analyzing and figuring it out as best we can. But because of the timing that some people make that call the next day, but yet they may refer our name to somebody else, and then that person might call immediately or might not call for another 6 months. So it's really a challenge to not. It's easy to deal with numbers and say we know the numbers, but it's hard to really know the end result.
What's your best advice for other marketing professionals?
My best advice for other marketing professionals is to connect with other marketing professionals. It's true. We need to help each other. We need to support each other. And whether that means, there's Legal Marketing Association, for example, which is a formal way of networking and educating through legal marketing. But there's also less formal ways. And it also could just be, not in COVID time, but after COVID time, a quick cup of coffee with a couple of legal marketing professionals that just can share frustrations and share successes and just get ideas from each other and help support each other. I think that's really important, to build your own community of people.
Sharyn, thanks so much for being on the show and sharing such great information. Enjoy the day.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks so much for checking out Navigating the Noise podcast. Subscribe today by clicking the subscribe button or visit navigatingthenoise.com to subscribe via email. On our website, you can access the show notes, resources, and links from today's episode to help you take action on what was discussed. Also, you can ask Jerry questions that he may reply to on the show. Plus, if you're a leader in your marketing department and would like to be a guest, you can contact us through the site. It's really easy. Just visit navigatingthenoise.com to subscribe, watch episodes, ask Jerry anything, or to be a guest. Until next time, stay safe, navigate wisely.